SpaceX just finished stacking Booster 19 in only 2 weeks, a job that normally takes 6 months. Ship 39 has disappeared inside Megabay 2, where it's been quietly finalized for weeks. How did they pull this off? Even more surprising, this aggressive timeline is happening right after the Booster 18 incident, when everyone expected production to slow down. Instead, SpaceX ramped up operations and maintained that intense pace through December. What's pushing them to move this fast, and does this mean Flight 12 could actually launch in late January? Let's dive right in. In last week's update, we watched SpaceX move 4 major sections of Booster 19 from Star Factory into Megabay 1 within just 7 days. The massive fuel transfer tube came with them, and stacking happened almost immediately. But that was just the beginning. On December 10th, a shiny LOX header tank appeared right in front of Megabay 1. This component connects to the lower end of the transfer tube, and installing it normally requires an entire week of extremely careful welding to prevent any leaks. SpaceX moved it inside and started work that same day. By December 12th, just over 24 hours later, the doors opened to reveal Booster 19 being lifted. The LOX header tank was already complete. How did they compress a week's worth of precision welding into a single day? This wasn't just about speed. It demonstrated a level of manufacturing capability that most aerospace companies simply can't match. 2 days later, on December 14th, came the real challenge: the aft section. This is the most complex and critical part of the entire booster. It houses all 33 Raptor engines, the thrust puck, and the thrust dome, the structure that absorbs massive forces during launch. There's a reason this section is always stacked last. It requires installing all 33 engines individually, testing countless plumbing connections, adding thermal shielding, and mounting the grid fins. This section is also the heaviest and most delicate. Stack it too early, and you risk catastrophic damage to systems worth millions of dollars. Right now, Booster 19 is still inside Megabay 1 undergoing final assembly. But SpaceX projects this work will wrap up within this week. By next week, the full structure could be complete and ready for X-ray inspections. If that timeline holds, SpaceX could end the year with a full cryogenic proof test completed. That would leave the first half of January 2026 open for engine work and static fire testing, making a late January launch window for Flight 12 genuinely realistic. This pace shocked almost everyone. After the Booster 18 incident, the consensus was that production would slow down considerably. Even though SpaceX said B-19 would be stacked in December, most observers expected final work to stretch into January. Instead, starting in late November, SpaceX ramped up and maintained that aggressive tempo without slowing down. What's driving this urgency? The launch date doesn't just depend on the booster, though. Ship 39 has to be ready too, and the situation there looks surprisingly good. On December 8th, Ship 39 stood tall inside Megabay 2, looking almost flight-ready. But by December 13th, something unexpected happened. The doors opened and the ship had vanished from the center workstand. Ship 39 was temporarily moved out to install the methane and liquid oxygen autogenous pressurization raceways. These critical systems regulate pressure inside the propellant tanks during flight. The structures were lifted and attached to the stand. Then Ship 39 was lifted back into position. By December 16th, the doors opened again, and there it was, back in place with those key systems now integrated. Ship 39 is extremely close to being finished. We're likely just days away from seeing it roll out for cryogenic testing, possibly before Christmas. But for this aggressive timeline to work, every system tied to the launch campaign has to move forward together. That's exactly what's happening at SpaceX Pad 2. This new Launchpad is being built as a next-generation platform designed to support Starship Flight 3 in future iterations. One of the most notable recent additions is the quick disconnect arm, which has just been positioned. But the real action has been with the flame trench deluge system. This system releases massive amounts of water to suppress heat and pressure during launch events. SpaceX ran 3 full-scale deluge tests in just 1 week, on December 5th, 9th, and 10th. Most footage came from far away, making it hard to appreciate the system's power. But closer angles tell a different story. The spray reaches impressive heights, and the volume pouring out clearly shows this system is ready for much more powerful vehicles. And the first rocket expected to use it. Booster 19, the same prototype being pushed through production at this astonishing pace. That urgency didn't come from nowhere. The Booster 18 incident gave us a rare glimpse into how fast SpaceX can actually move when pushed to the limit. What we're seeing now is SpaceX operating at maximum capacity. But here's what's even more remarkable. This speed will soon look slow. Right next to the megabays, SpaceX is building the Gigabay. This isn't just a larger version of existing facilities. It's a massive manufacturing complex with 24 dedicated work zones connected to Star Factory through 6 enormous doors. This layout will allow vehicle sections to move between facilities faster than anything SpaceX has achieved before. The first steel frame level is now complete. Crews are installing the second level, and massive self-lifting tower cranes have arrived on site. These cranes will climb higher as the building grows, eventually lifting the entire roof structure into place. Once completed around late 2026, Gigabay will stand roughly 115 meters tall, one of the largest industrial structures on Earth. This facility is the key to SpaceX's ultimate goal, producing thousands of Starships every year. At that production rate, Starship could fly more routinely than Falcon 9. Launches may no longer feel as exciting as they do today. There won't be millions watching live streams or crowds erupting in applause for every successful landing. But that's the price of progress toward making space access routine. What lies ahead may be far more exciting than today's test flights, though. We could soon see Starship landing directly into Makezilla's arms for the first time, witness high-stakes orbital refueling tests above Earth, or watch Starship HLS touch down on the lunar surface. We could see SpaceX begin constructing Moonbase Alpha, or witness dozens of Starships departing toward Mars on the first interplanetary expeditions. Those moments are coming sooner than most people think, and they'll bring Elon Musk's Mars dream closer to reality than ever before. There's another vision taking shape that sounds like science fiction, but is rapidly becoming real. Musk's plan to deploy data centers into space is one of the most radical ideas of the AI era. Over recent months, he's repeatedly discussed orbital data centers built around upgraded Starlink Vi-3 satellites. These larger super satellites would link together by high-speed lasers, creating AI computing hubs floating above Earth. The motivation is straightforward. Traditional data centers consume enormous electricity, strain power grids, require massive land usage, and generate substantial cooling costs. Space offers abundant solar energy available nearly 24/7, natural cooling in the vacuum, and ultra-fast laser links that can reduce latency compared to undersea cables. This could let XAI reach gigawatt-level computing capacity without Earth-based infrastructure. The environmental benefits matter too. According to the International Telecommunication Union, carbon emissions from leading AI systems could reach 12.6 million tons of CO2 equivalent per year. Orbital data centers could eliminate much of that footprint. Experts believe SpaceX could make this work thanks to dramatically lower launch costs enabled by Starship, potentially just a few $1,000s per kilogram. That makes orbital data centers economically feasible as early as 2027. Challenges remain, including maintenance difficulties and radiation risks to sensitive chips. But with a potential record-breaking IPO in 2026 that could raise tens of billions, Musk is positioning this to push SpaceX's valuation toward $800 billion. This isn't just about AI advancement. It's also a stepping stone toward Mars, where orbital computing could support long-term settlement. It's audacious, but Musk has a track record of turning audacious ideas into reality. So what does all this really mean? SpaceX just built a complete super heavy booster in 2 weeks, something that normally takes 6 months. They're running 3 deluge tests in a week at Pad 2. They're constructing Gigabay at an incredible pace, and they're planning orbital data centers for AI. This isn't just about speed, it's about fundamentally changing what's possible. The Booster 18 incident could have slowed everything down. Instead, it revealed something crucial. When SpaceX decides to move, they operate at a level most aerospace companies can't match. We're watching the transition in real time, from spaceflight as an occasional event to routine infrastructure. Flight 12 isn't just another test. It's proof that the manufacturing capability exists to turn Starship into what Musk always envisioned, a mass-produced vehicle making humanity multiplanetary. When we see those first Starships landing on Mars, we'll look back at Booster 19 stacked in 2 weeks and realize this was when everything changed. Are you excited for that future? Drop Go SpaceX in the comments. Hit like, share this video, and subscribe to Space Update 24 hours so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching.